What's up guys, Chris here. Today I'm talking to you guys about 5 things I wish I knew before I actually got a Glidecam. In the back yesteryear of 2014, I knew I wanted to get myself a Glidecam, but I was broke. My wonderful girlfriend at the time, now wife, bought me a Glidecam for Christmas. So I've been using that for the past couple years, but there's a couple things I wish I would have known before I got it. First thing is, I wish I would have known it was a workout. This thing actually weighs a ton. It takes whatever weight your camera is, and you have to pretty much double that weight on the bottom end of it so that it balances out. So say your camera weighs 5 pounds, you're now carrying 10 pounds, which is not a whole lot until you're holding it out like this for a 6-hour wedding. It gets to be a whole lot and it's a workout. So honestly, if I would have known about that, I probably would have started, working out a lot more beforehand. I probably would have used it a lot more in that first couple years. And going along with that one, the next thing is getting a wrist brace. That is a lot of weight just to be putting on your wrist, because if you're holding on like this joint right here is getting the brunt of the force. Having a wrist brace transfers the force from your wrist all the way down to your entire forearm, which helps a ton. If I would have known about that, I would have saved myself like hours and hours of wedding pains just from holding the Steadicam in the same place for the same wedding and then trying to make sure my wrist does not give out while I'm walking down with the bride and the husband. Next thing I wish I would have known, which is honestly something I should have thought of at the time, but I thought it'd be something I could just pop my camera on and go and it looked good. I didn't think about actually trying to learn it beforehand. So much to my surprise, whenever I took it out on a shoot for a friend's music video, it looked like crap, and we ended up having to reshoot some segments, go in handheld using tripod, just because the Steadicam just didn't look good because I didn't really know what I was doing. I hadn't trained with it beforehand. I thought it was something I could just pop it on there and just start going, just go at it, and it was not anything close to that. Like, it was so bad looking back at it now. After a little while, we ended up going out, being able to reshoot again with the Steadicam, and this time it looked way better. It looked 10 times better than it was supposed to be. But that first time, if I could just redo that and like, hey, we're not using Steadicam, it would just save us both a lot of time, a lot of effort, and a lot of little disappointment there because I've hyped it up and then all of a sudden it looks horrible and I just got this like look from him. Let's just say I did that one pro bono. Next thing I wish I would have known is having a wide lens actually does help. I heard a lot of people talking about it, but I thought just having my 50mm lens would work fine. It takes great photos, it takes great videos, like it's a perfect lens. I don't need to use anything else. I was wrong. I was really wrong. Using the Steadicam with the 50mm, I thought it would just cancel itself out. Like that jitter I get with the 50mm videos, it would be knocked out with the Steadicam. It was not by any means or terms of the word. It just made it worse, honestly. Just amplified it. Instead of having it just like float, it was more just jagged and jiggery and just the bleh. Just really wasn't a good thing. And it was really because I had a 50mm lens on a crop body, which made it a 75mm lens on a Steadicam or on a Glidecam knockoff, and it was just all around a combination of bad things that really just did not work in the favor, and the footage looked crappy as all get out. It looked a lot better going back to the kit lens than it did using the 50mm, which was kind of weird, but it really did teach me a lot more about focal lengths and how those affect your hand, how the footage looks, how it jitters, how stabilization affects it. Just really the whole gambit of how it all works. Because originally I just thought it was just like, it was a better lens, so thus it must be better for everything, which really is the furthest thing from the truth here, so yeah, live and learn. And the final thing I wish I would have known that probably should have been on the front of my mind, but I thought this would just fix everything. I should have practiced with it more. Yep. Yeah, I've been using this thing for about 5 years now, and I've actually gotten to the point now where I can just throw it on there, not mess with it for a week or two, and still be able to put out good videos. But at the time, whenever I first got it, I couldn't use it daily and still make anything look good. It all looked crappy because I hadn't gotten a skill set in this thing. It was still a foreign entity, which my words not work. My brain is not putting words out that I want to say. I thought I was able to just throw my camera on there with a 50mm lens and just go out there and do it. And that isn't the case. It was a lot of practice. It took me probably an hour to balance it the first time, and now I can balance it at a Steadicam in probably about 5 minutes. Steadicams and Glidecams are some of the hardest things to use just because they're all physics and gravity and balance and bleh. They give me a look that I love seeing, but they are difficult to use, and they're not for everybody. Most people opt to just use a gimbal at this point, and that's completely fine. That's something they want to do. That's good for them. As for me in my shooting, I use the Glidecam because I love the way it looks, and the only way I got there is through practicing for hours and hours and hours, and for every hour it took me to balance this thing, I got a little bit faster. It took me 50 minutes, it took me 30 minutes, and 5 minutes now. And I can set it up before a wedding and just do the entire wedding with it and not have to worry about anything. Whereas before, I think if I remember at the first wedding I had the Steadicam, I had it off there and I just used my tripod almost exclusively for all the shots. And I was carrying that big tripod around with me the entire time. Until the ceremony, whenever I started using the Steadicam on following the bride and her father in, and then following the bride and groom out. If I remember, those were the only 2 Steadicam shots I had. I thought, wow, those looked really good. And pretty much as every project came on after that, I started using Steadicam more and more and more. If I needed a tracking shot, if I needed a handheld shot, if I needed one of this. I started using the Glidecam more and more, and all of a sudden, I started getting better at this thing. It took me months of projects to get through it, but it started looking better. So practice is really the final key for any of that. And that being said, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you liked it, click that subscribe button, click that little bell icon to get notified for all my different videos I post. And with that being said, I love you all. See you guys later. Check out my other videos right up here in this corner, or this one, whichever one it is. I have a playlist up there, some different filmmaking tutorials, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out, guys.